Beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's a 10 out of 10. I think we got a 10 out of 10 architecture for the first time
We'll
ever.
get fired, but it's a 10 out of 10.
Welcome to Over Architected with Nick and Holly, where together we are experts on data and AI, but separately, not so much.
This is the podcast where we talk about our new favorite features in Databricks and then try to shoehorn them into one architecture to see if it's actually realistic. And here are our favorite features from the last 60 days, because we do have Christmas as well. And I think to start us off, am I going first or are you going first?
You're going first. Give us some data.
Our excuse last time was that we didn't want to do 30 days because people are going to have a break and they're not going to be delivering that much over the holidays. And it turns out that the connectors team has been doing a massive amount of work since we have all been off. So we've got a bunch of new connectors that are available for people to use. A lot of them are either in betas or public previews, but that does mean that you can go ahead and get started with them. So first of all, we have a Microsoft Dynamics 365 public preview. We've got a Jira connector. We've got a Confluence connector. The Salesforce connector has been improved as well, and you can now do incremental loads, which is fantastic because those tables are quite big. We've got a Meta Ads connector, which is in beta, as is the ability to read Excel files is also in beta. We've got a NetSuite connector, and we also have PostgreSQL as well.
Oh my God. I need to go register for every one of these things so that I can connect them all.
So Nick, just draw all of them. So I actually do have a little demo to show you kind of how to get started with these. Right, I'm going to head to my previews tab, which is here. I just click on my little icon here. And if I type in Jira, I've got a Lakeflow connector for Jira here as well. I'm just going to turn this on. I might have to reconnect the page. Now, there is a bit of setup that you need to do within the back end of Jira as well. So this is the kind of app. The developer console, I stand corrected. And here I have some settings that I need to set up. So I do need to configure this Jira API. And then when I go on this does a link to things about kind of scopes that I need. There's some classic scopes to set up and then some granular scopes. Once I've done that, I then go to my settings and I get all of the things that I need from my console. I am hoping that it's not going to... I've got a client ID. I guess I'm blurring that out later. But then we have these connection settings here, and this is what we're going to then use to go ahead and make our connection. So now when I head back to here, if I go and create a connection, so if I go to my catalog, I drop down, I create a connection, I should be able to call this Jira test, the connection type, and I'm really hoping, there's our Dynamics 365 that's popped up, and lo and behold, here is my Jira connection.
First time?
I technically did this earlier today, and clearly I've not remembered anything. And so this is where we start putting in our details that we had from our developer console. And then we go ahead and we sign in with Jira and we do our OAuth authentication for Jira. Sadly, this is actually blocked from a Databricks perspective, so I can't show you any further than this once you've kind of copied and pasted everything in. But then once you've got that, you've then got the ability to connect Jira and get all of that wonderful Jira information out and into your lakehouse. Nick, can I ask you to put it very simply on our architecture?
I would love to. Can you please list out every single connector again?
Well, I think if we do the Jira one, because I do have a bit of idea of what we can do with our infrastructure this month.
Okay,
So
all right. So let's do it. Jira.
There's also a matching Confluence one as well that you set up in exactly the same way as well. So I have an idea for what we're going to do for our February features that we have in Databricks. So what happens in February? Valentine's Day. And what I think we should be doing is using Jira tickets to play Matchmaker, to play Cupid. And we are going to play Matchmaker with every single employee at Databricks based off of their Jira tickets. What do you think?
Pretty spicy, not going to lie. Here.
Excellent. But no, I think there's some logic to this, Nick. You know, you've got that person who beautifully well articulates their Jira tickets in terms of problem statement.
Claude. Yeah, very good. Super articulate.
they're obviously a perfect couple. Couldn't be me because I'm like, this button is broke, please fix. So maybe I am also matched with someone, I don't know, that uses a lot of emojis with things. It's the next big idea. Like, we could make some really beautiful relations happen like this.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down. Let's find out. We need to build it first, and let's see.
Let's see whether Holly has to go on some very specific training after this episode.
Let's take a look at Databricks Assistant in the last 60 days. So, 3 things in the Databricks Assistant. First thing in the Databricks Assistant is that it's now live on the documentation. So docs.databricks.com. Actually, let me just show you. I can just do that one. docs.databricks.com. Boom. And now on the bottom right here, you have Ask Assistant. And this is the same assistant that's available in the Databricks platform. Obviously, it's not like the agent mode because it can't edit the documentation, which I wish it could. That would be nice. But it's there now. Personally, I don't use it too much, but it's good for, search and stuff like this, because what you want is to use the assistant in the platform. That's typically how you use it. But it doesn't hurt to have it here. It's kind of a standard in the industry now that docs have some kind of chat type interface with them. So that's the first piece on the assistant. Second piece on the assistant is that the agent mode that can actually interact with your workspace is now widely available in public preview. And with that also comes support for something called skills. Do you know what skills are?
Are they the things that I lack? My skill issue. Yeah.
That's funny. Okay, so skills are essentially kind of bundled resources to extend your agent capabilities. Stop laughing. Stop laughing. This is serious business. I'm talking about skill. I'm trying to upskill you right now, and you're just laughing at me.
Yeah, this is my problem. Sorry, Nick. You're telling me about my skill issue. Go.
So skills are an open standard. It's something that was originally developed at Anthropic, and now it's open standard donated to open source. So anybody and everybody can use and extend it, and the whole community can work on it. But it's essentially a set of instructions, scripts, and assets, like any arbitrary assets, that are bundled together in a folder called skills. You can actually extend the abilities of your agent to do custom things. Now, if that sounds a little bit like MCPs and tools, that's because they are pretty similar. It's like this universe is still kind of, I would say, fluid, and everything's crossing over each other, and it's, there's all kinds of different ways to achieve basically the same thing. But the key benefit is that with skills is that it doesn't load everything into your context at once, right? So skills can be broken down into like separate text files and MD markdown files. And by doing that, the agent can progressively look for more skills or more details of a skill, as long as they're broken down by file, and then iteratively add them to the context to explore and find what it needs to do. So how that differs from like a huge file, like you have a claude.md or agents or llms.txt, or, there's like a million of these different protocols now. How that differs from that is that those files are loaded in kind of all at once. So that pollutes your context. And so you're using more tokens, your agent's getting more confused about what it might need to do, and it's not really portable. So skills are essentially that same text file, that big text file that includes everything for your agent, but broken down into folders, scripts, some additional assets, and individual markdown files within that skill. So very exciting. Those skills are now available in the Databricks platform. So in Databricks, you can actually go to your workspace that I have here, and you can do this .assistant. So it's kind of a hidden file. In this assistant, you have something called skills. And in here, for instance, we're still in the Casper's universe. I made a Casper's trivia thing in a skills MD file for Casper's trivia saying, hey, Casper's has a secret location in Los Angeles. So when you go to the agent and you ask it something about Casper, say, hey, give me some trivia, it'll actually load this skill dynamically and then give you that response. Hey, by the way, Casper's has a secret location in Los Angeles. A trivial example, but you can use it for deployment scripts, anything you need for your personal workflow. You can continuously add skills to this workspace and essentially build up the intelligence for the agent so that you can do your work better.
Okay, interesting. So could I use skills to make my Jira dating app less of an HR nightmare?
it's for more of a development, like when you're developing in Databricks, right?
Okay.
And you have some tasks that you need to accomplish. Let's say you're
Okay.
always restarting a job that has some dependencies, and there's like a certain order of things that you
Oh.
might need to do, that kind of thing. So that's really where skill comes in handy.
So could I instead have it more on like, this is my Git structure and this is where you go for this, and then ignore this because this is just like Terraform templates and that's kind of abstract. But
Yeah,
instead I need you
sure.
to go in here.
Hmm.
Okay, and so we've not really kind of loaded anything in yet. Development skills, and that's like a repo structure. This also connects. I guess this also has to load in some data and shove that in here into Delta.
You put an arrow through my heart.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's on theme. I guess this kind of like sits around. Live is really stretching it. Okay, I think that's maybe the best way to represent it.
I think in the future, what we might want to consider is having kind of like part of the screen for like dev tools and part of the screen for the architect. You know what I mean? Like two different universes
Yeah,
over architected.
no, I think it's perfect. I can't believe you're criticizing it.
Uh, all right. I think it looks good. So we can use skills to help us build this Jira connector better. Tell me what's next.
That is forEachBatch within Spark declarative pipelines. So this has been something that has been missing. I'm going to go ahead and say it for a while now from declarative pipelines. And this has been a little bit tricky if you wanted to do something like a custom sync, like a custom destination for your Spark declarative pipelines. But it also meant things like merge into, you are unable to do, and just anything that you needed to do in that kind of like micro batch approach. And especially if you're used to a lot more control because you're used to kind of classic Spark pipelines, this is going to really open things up for those more complex use cases. So if you've been using Spark declarative pipelines and you're like, hey, I like the easy stuff and that helps me and kind of like get quickly on my feet, but the moment I need to do any kind of serious processing, this is a bit of a problem. This is where that forEachBatch comes in for Spark declarative pipelines. So I do have a little example.
Amazing. I love this. This has been such a pain to not have, because if you're doing any serious work for a very long time, forEachBatch is like your saving grace. So that's amazing. Show me.
Yeah, so this is my kind of declarative pipelines that I've set up. Again, if you've also not seen this in a while, this UI has had a massive overhaul. And so what I've basically done here is I'm pretending that I've got some refund recommendations and I want to merge into my updated table to say, actually, I would like you to overwrite kind of like with the latest things. Now, this wouldn't have been possible in a streaming scenario beforehand because it's got that merge into here. So I've got this forEachBatch sync, which I'm creating here. I've got my target and I'm just kind of updating it. Don't look too closely at the syntax because it doesn't really make that much sense. But then I've got my append flow that comes in after it, and then I'm kind of running this stream to write out afterwards. And so not only do I have down here, I've got my my streaming table, which you've seen before, but this is the new thing that is new. So we've got this merge into sync, which is happening here, and it's not written any data to it, so it's not come out. But we do have this new syntax, or this new kind of example here of a sync of what it is being saved into.
So now the question is, how do we use this in our world? All right, well, we have some data. The Jira connector's coming in its Delta table.
Yeah.
I kind of want to use I feel like the forEachBatch is really, like if we're writing Delta to Delta, hopefully we already have all the tools that we need, right? It's kind of like natively in the Spark world. So what would be an external service or something that we would write out to? Maybe we can do anything, right? We'd like, where do we want to send the data to? Wait, where does Cupid live? Is Cupid like a heaven thing?
I think he's like a Greek mythology thing or a Roman mythology thing. So he'll live in the cloud.
He'll live in the cloud. Okay, I like this. We're going to keep going. Hey, it's all love here, baby. Okay. And then I don't know how to draw a cloud. Oh, wow. I was going to say the heart is the cloud, but I like it.
Right.
You're going to love this. And Cupid lives here. Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And so we're sending these. We don't know yet what. I don't know what yet, right? Because what's coming in the Jira connector? Like, I don't even know what the data is.
you get all the information about all of the tickets and the details on there, but you also get things like the comments that are on them. Did people react with emojis? You also have things like the the names of everyone, the profiles of everyone, what their pictures are like, all of the kind of movement that you get from kind of Jira tickets.
But in our use case, what we have, so we're matching people based on their Jira usage?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, well then I'm gonna do what is super hot right now and add some a little bit more to here and say that we have foundation models during this for each batch thing that we're doing. You started it.
Yeah, I did. I do think maybe Cupid, he's in the cloud, but I think he should also be like a JDBC sync. So that is something that is unsupported at the moment in kind of vanilla smart declarative pipelines. But now with forEachBatch, you can write to JDBC.
Oh, okay. Cool. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's a 10 out of 10. I think we got a 10 out of 10 architecture for the first time
We'll
ever.
get fired, but it's a 10 out of 10.
Speaking of foundation models,
Yes.
we have a few new coming online in the last couple of months, and they're all big. OpenAI's 5.2 GPT and Claude 4.5 from Anthropic are now, and these are like super hot. I think Claude's having like a resurgence. Claude Code is having this whole resurgence online. Everybody's obsessed with it. It looks like it's AGI. I don't think it's AGI, of course, but it is pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome to use, and it's really fun to use. In any case, it's now supported on the foundation model APIs in Databricks, and that's really cool. And actually, that's how I use it. So I'll just quickly show you how this setup looks. And in this terminal, if I just go to Claude, boom. Yeah, let's just start it here. And you can see here that I'm using Databricks Claude Opus 4.5. And the way that this actually is possible is because if I just go to Claude settings, JSON, and we will blur all this out, of course, naturally. But here you can actually see how you set this up. So you have an environment, you can set the model that you want. You include the base URL, which is your actual workspace serving endpoints. And then this one's a little bit custom. This is what you need to pay attention to. So serving endpoints, Anthropic, and then whichever of the you can use any of the Anthropic models that Databricks supports. And once you have this set up, then you are ready to go, and Claude works with the Databricks Foundation Model API. Now, this is where I start to get the real kind of benefit from it. I actually have the inference table set up for this endpoint, right? So I can go back, and if I go to data and I go to Opus 4.5 or Sonnet, I can do sample data here, and this will take a second to load. So all my usage that I'm using through Claude Code is being logged in this inference table that's set up in Databricks. So I can go back and connect all these things and do all kinds of custom stuff on my previous conversations. So I can actually come in here and say like, hey, what are the common things that I've been doing or that have been going on over this, over the last period of like, whatever, the last 10 conversations that I've had. Can you suggest any other like tools that should be created or skills, I should say, that should be created in order to things that you don't have to redo or relearn. So you can imagine this working in a situation where you have like a big team and everybody's using some version of some kind of coding tool. You can bring together all these conversation histories and kind of suss out what are the common patterns, what's happening, and then create tools. Or first you get some kind of insight, what's going on. Yep. And then second, you can derive some new tools or things like that. It doesn't have to be more AI stuff, but it's just really useful to take a look at.
So I know the Foundation Models API, the API is technically not new, but I could have this with GPT. Sorry, is it 3.5 or 5? It's 5.3, isn't it? Right.
It's 5.2.
5.2.
3.5. I mean, things are happening really fast. 3.5 is really not that old.
Yeah,
it's kind of scary.
It's not. I realize
if you look back and see when these things come out, you realize that it hasn't been any time at all.
So we've got these development skills for our repo structure. I think we should also use like the Claude Code for this, and maybe use that to make like an onboarding guide
for Cupid. Cupid knows everything.
For the dev team, who are also going to visit
The dev
our
team.
HR mandatory training that we're going to go to. So something that is going to help us with our collaborative work, and that is that Delta Sharing now supports Iceberg, which is pretty sweet. So this is my little diagram and my demo that I've got here. So the first thing that we need to do is disable deletion vectors, because that is not supported with Delta Sharing at the moment, and that is set as default for our workspace that we've got here. The next thing is turning this into an Iceberg table, so that we now have it as Iceberg compatible, and this means that it can be read by any Iceberg client, whether that is something that you've hosted yourself or whether that's something that's part of another platform elsewhere. Now that I've got this, we can see that we do have some Iceberg details in here, and that is now an enabled format on my Delta table. And then finally, I can just go ahead and I can add this to the share. And that will go in there. And I know it doesn't look very impressive, but it works, which is quite nice.
Okay, awesome. So it's Delta Sharing for an Iceberg. So who else is in the Cupid universe?
Maybe we should send this to HR to be like, by the way, here are the people that we've matched. We're going to email them soon. Do you want to have like a quick look?
So we need to write out a new table? I'm a little lost. Are we writing out a new Iceberg table, or are we writing out a new Delta table?
So you can take an existing Delta table and modify the settings and then add that to the Delta
Like we
share.
did with that one, the one that you just demonstrated.
Yeah, so you don't have to like read in something and then write it out again. You can just modify that existing table as it is in place. It's just a change to the metadata, and then share that out further.
Okay, so let's put HR on this thing. Let's start.
Okay.
Let's start easy.
Yeah.
Human resources.
Such a horrible name for a team, isn't it?
It's like the people team, right?
Yeah. It's people
there's a
ops. I
rebrand.
think that's the
I
cool
like
name
the people
now,
team.
yeah.
People team's better name. I guess this table, I'm gonna keep it simple.
Yeah.
Right? This will work. How this actually does it is through, can I do Delta share as Iceberg?
So HR, they'll have an Iceberg client for reading that.
That uses Iceberg. How's that? That makes it
Perfect.
clear. Oh man, human resources, cold as ice. Sorry.
Sorry, can you make that a bit smaller? It's too wide. Yeah.
Okay.
Siri, be quiet.
Please cut that in. This is a new feature of this. We should both have Siris. Like, I'll have a Siri too, and we'll just have
Say the name!
it'll be a whole team. This is my last thing for this episode. And it is the knowledge assistant of Agentbricks is now generally available. It's generally available, which is really exciting. And I think we've mentioned it in the past on this show, but this time I do want to show you actually what it looks like. Here we are in our Databricks. Oh, I'm in the wrong window. That's why I was like, why is the zoom off? All right.
I think we found a skill issue.
This one cannot be fixed, unfortunately. All right, so we're in our Databricks platform that we were in before. And on the left-hand side here, we have the Agents tab. And in the Agents tab, you can actually see this Agentbricks tab within the Agents tab. And we have this location operations bot. It's a knowledge assistant that I already created. I'm going to go into that in a second because this is the actual one that's already running. So I want to show you how to build it. So to build a knowledge assistant, simply from docs that already exist, and a knowledge assistant really is just a like RAG, right? So retrieval augmented generation. So it makes it really, really easy to create RAG chatbots without really writing any code at all, right? So you come in here, you say, here's what the bot is. Here's the name of the bot. Here's what the bot is. You can go here and select a source for some kind of data for that bot. So this is the RAG aspect. You can select UC files, or you can select a vector search index. In our case, I'll show you how we can use UC files. So I can select a source, and I have a volume that has a docs folder. And that docs folder has the operations manual for Casper's Kitchens. So this is the actual manual for the employees at the actual location. So I can hit confirm, and we can give it a name, all this kind of stuff. And then we hit create agent, and then it takes some time and it automatically creates a bot for us. I won't click it here because we already have it running. So I'm going to leave this page, show you location operations bot. And here you can see it's already been synced successfully with all the docs that are in this volume. And then I can ask it things that are in that document. So for instance, hey, What do I do with a late order? It's really, 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 really late. I'm panicking. I'm at location. I don't know what's going on. It's really late. So we already got our first token, so you can see that it did this. And it gave us a thought chain, right? So we can actually see what it did. In this case, all it did is search the docs that it has available. So this is kind of the RAG aspect. And the CC, it says, hey, log the delay, handle the communication, and it actually also gives us the exact location of what it's referencing, right? So everything's built into this already. So actual citation. So, hey, this is cited from page 3, and this is also cited from page 3, and it gives you the little excerpt that it's actually using. So Knowledge Assistant live, generally available on the Databricks platform. I think this is an amazing tool. You basically don't need any coding ability anymore to make something useful. All you do is just feed it the docs that you have, and you're good to go.
Sweet. Okay, then. So I guess to have this working, I'm going to need a bunch of docs somewhere, aren't I?
You could also use vector search. You did see that.
I don't have a vector search at the moment either.
You can just...
I could make
That's the beauty about drawing stuff. You can just spawn it.
Okay, then. All right. So I think I'm going to have vector search here. Actually, maybe we also did like a custom writer instead from our forEachBatch, so we can also have this go into a vector search as well.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And so from our vector search, this is not following the rules of left to right, is it? Never mind. From our vector search,
It's all relative.
Knowledge Assistant. And sorry, what is the specific bit that's new about it?
It's now generally available. It's gone through its betas, it's gone through its previews, and now it's GA, baby.
Properly GA. Lovely. The thing that comes out at the end of that is a little chatbot that you can use, or you can use it as part of something bigger as well.
And it's available as a serving endpoint, right? So you can use it through APIs, you can use it in the playground immediately, you can use it as part of a multi-agent. So one of the things that Databricks has is a multi-agent orchestrator. So you can orchestrate multiple agents for one specific task. So you can include them in there as well. So it's
okay, this is going to go into my big agent as part of it, and there's some other stuff that's come in, there's some other stuff that's going to come out. Okay, what do we think so far?
Yeah, question looks good.
Yeah, I mean, we're a forward-thinking company. We're using AI. We don't know what for yet, but we are using AI.
Cool. Yeah.
And my last feature actually might help you with this, and that is auto-scaling for Lakebase. And now this is in public preview. This means that you've got the ability to scale to 0, or you can scale up quite quickly, but you can also scale to 0 as well. So no more choosing capacity units for your Lakebase instances. And there's a few other things that come with this as well. So the auto-scaling also supports ACLs, access control lists, and you also can connect to it with the SQL editor for read-write access as well. So just like you would with kind of provisioned Lakebase, you also get those things with the auto-scaling version as well. If you want to go and have a play around with it, so step 1, you do have to enable it in the previews. In terms of where to find it, so I normally go to compute and then Lakebase provisioned, and then it's got this handy little link here saying Lakebase auto-scaling. And what you will notice is that it has its own brand new UI for you to be able to use that you might not have seen before. So if I go ahead and I create a new project and I want to have something custom, so I could have something for kind of like array for Cupid app. You get the Postgres version, and then there's literally very little that you can go ahead and choose in terms of the settings here. The production, and then I've gone ahead and I have created that, and this will go ahead and do some setup for us whilst it's setting up. But you get quite a lot of metrics here in terms of that. And then if you want to go ahead and connect to it, there is this button up here, and this will show you how to go ahead and connect, or give you the things that you need to connect your app or whatever it is that you're using Lakebase for to go ahead and do that. So you do have this new interface here, which I really like. It's quite nice.
It's amazing. I mean, I feel like you didn't even mention it, but look how fast you have a database up and running.
Yeah.
Like that's what more can you say? Um,
Yeah, so I guess
I
maybe we should also talk about like the benefits of Lakebase if you've never used it before. That's
I
on
don't know.
me,
Your
right? Thank
feature. You tell me. I don't know.
uh, so Lakebase was announced over the summer. It is the ability to have Postgres and set up your own Postgres to have an app or equivalent using Postgres. And one of the best things about having it with Databricks is a couple of things. One, it is right next to your data. So in terms of syncing that data in there, getting that data back out again, that is something that's incredibly low overhead compared to if you try to do this yourself. You also have the ability to do things like branching as well, to be able to take a snapshot at a point in time, so that if you want to do some testing, but you don't want to have to, test in production, which is obviously a terrible idea, you can branch it, and that makes it very useful. And finally, you have separated storage compute as well. So if you don't need that compute, you can turn it off, and the storage is still there. You don't necessarily have to destroy that. So this is part of the auto scaling piece. It's just kind of an extension of that last point.
Amazing. I know exactly how we're going to use this.
Excellent.
And here's what happened. Cupid got back to us and he said, JDBC is cool,
Okay.
but I'm going to need an app to really
Okay.
work on the matching here.
Okay.
So we're going to do, as you might expect, we're going to add the Cupid app.
Okay.
And then underneath the Cupid app, Lakebase, right? So we're going to use Databricks apps to make the Cupid app. Underlying that Cupid app, we have Lakebase running with all of its wonderful features, as you've elaborated. And into this Lakebase app, boom.
Could we not have our big agent with a big question mark? Can we not have that?
Oh, we're having it too. Don't worry.
Right, okay.
All things will come together. We're going to sync everything. And I wanted to draw the line between this Delta table and the Lakebase app on purpose. You actually demoed this at Data and AI Summit last year. So we can reverse ETL, as they call it. So common ETL is going from something like an operational store, like Postgres, MySQL, blah, 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 into Delta tables or Parquet or whatever you're using. Reverse ETL is the opposite, right? So we have all the stuff from the Jira connector in this Delta table. That's our source of truth. And we're going to reverse ETL that into the Lakebase instance. We're also going to do all the agent stuff, all the recommendations, and that's going to expose it to the Cupid app. And then Cupid is going to be super happy with the Cupid app. All right. What do you think?
What is this abomination that we have made?
This makes total sense. This is the first time we've had the actual end user fully as the focus of our architecture.
That is really nice, actually, to be able to deliver something that could be useful to someone.
To a fake fictional thing in the sky.
Yeah, next time we'll move on to like real users. So, out of 10, how would you score this, Nick?
8?
An 8. Okay, then. Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's maybe a few things in here. They're a little bit optional. So that Delta share is Iceberg. It feels like it's an extra step. But if HR are an Iceberg team that refuse to use Delta, then maybe that is actually the right thing for us to do. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a little bit convoluted, and we missed a few steps of kind of classic ETL in here. But I guess if we've got smart declarative pipelines, we could also do a few steps in there as well. So yeah, in terms of architecture, I agree. I think this is probably a 7. I mean, in terms of use case, it's obviously like -10. But in terms of architecture, I want to say like a 7.
In terms of use case minus, what are you talking about? You got no love in your heart? This is Cupid, baby.
All right. And on that note, then, what do you think about this slightly unhinged example that we have come up with? I will put a link to the documentation in the description below. I also have a bit of news from myself and Nick as well. And quite a lot of you have messaged us to say that you really like this, but actually you kind of wish that it was on Spotify. So we are looking to move a lot of this to Spotify. We'll still be on YouTube, but we're also moving it to Spotify, and I'll put a link to that in the description as well. So if you prefer to join us there, you can do now as well. With that in mind, thank you so much, and we'll see you next month.
See you next month.
Bye, bye, bye.
Bye. Love you. All of you. All our viewers. Love you guys. Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
La 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 la.
Lake flow.
Hey, it's 2026. Time to take things seriously. Lake flow. Yeah, I like that. Should we come up with a Databricks tongue twister?
What's difficult? Lots of L's, lots of F's.
L's. This is actually something we can ask ChatGPT. Tongue twister, Databricks technologies. Go.
Do it.
Tongue twister, Databricks buzzwords. Oh, hell yes. I love when ChatGPT is just like ready to go.
Excellent. Hit me.
Oh, wow. Okay. I don't know if I can do this. Declarative delta pipelines deterministically deduplicate dirty data. Stateful Spark streams synchronized skewed session statistics. Unity Catalog universally unifies users, usage, and underlying assets. I love this. Absolutely unhinged. Don't attempt live. Lakehouse workloads weave warehousing workflows and workloads without whiplash. Photon-powered predicate pushdown processes petabyte scale parquet. Delta Live tables dynamically derive dependable downstream data sets. All right, enough messing around. Welcome to the world's #1 podcast with Nick and